This episode 2.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, and welcome to Broken Paddle Podcast. With me, as always, is Jason, Shane, and Caimen.
Should have changed my shirt. I got the same shirt on as the first episode. Man. My bad.
Well, I know it's been like a week.
It's been a minute.
I haven't washed mine either.
Yeah.
It's a little musty.
This is my podcasting shirt.
Yeah. It's her favorite. So, I think today we're going to talk about the Mulberry up there around Ozark, Arkansas, that area. That was definitely our go-to for a long time.
Yeah.
And
It's a cool area.
we love it. If you like whitewater, go to the Mulberry. I mean, it's not always whitewater though.
Sometimes it's just rocks.
No,
sometimes it's just rocks. Yeah.
It's an exciting area. You want something more than buffalo.
We got some facts over there, man.
It's
Yeah.
a damn map, man.
Sweet.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. We printed off a map to it because,
That was a really hard one to get any information on. There's like two places: it's Birds and Turner Bend.
Turner Bend.
That's the only two places you can find anything on that whole damn river about.
and I can't tell you which one I like better because they're both
Mulberry.
amazing places.
Mulberry's my favorite.
I'm talking about
Yeah.
Turner Bend and Birds.
Oh,
I'd say I'd have to say Birds just because there's a place to actually sit down and eat.
birds.
They have a restaurant. Yeah, they have a restaurant. It's open on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So yeah, you can be floating down the river and stop mid-river, get out, and get some food and a beer, and they sell beer there at their store, and then just go on back down. But Turner Bend's they sell like NRS equipment. A National River Service, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you can get helmets. Can you get wetsuits?
So does Turner Bend also sells this.
That's
stuff.
what I just said, Turner Bend.
I thought you was talking about birds.
No.
No, I said, but Turner Bend,
Yeah.
they'll sell skull caps for the bikers that come through and
My
Turner
bad,
Bend's
man.
even
leather
got,
stuff. And
They've even got one of them like fancy little rigs. that
Is
you
it
don't
still
even-
there? I thought somebody bought it out, closed it down.
Turner Bend?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
I was still up there whenever I was.
I mean, I hear a lot of shit. It don't mean it's true. But I did hear that.
You say a lot of shit, don't mean it's true.
Yeah, everything I say is 100%.
They got one of them neat contraptions too that you can get up out of your boat and they can crank it up on the river for it.
Yes.
So I seen.
That's Turner Bend.
Yeah.
Yes, they have a lift system for your boat.
Can I tell a story about something that I saw happen at the?
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
Lord.
So there was a group of people at Turner Bend, right? At Turner Bend camping, and they all decided they wanted to go skinny dipping in the Mulberry. So they all go up past Turner Bend to where the people work at, go through the gate, and everybody's naked, and one guy falls down these steep rocks, butt naked, gets up, and he hugs another buddy, and they touch helmets while they hug. I'm not saying who, but they did. They kind of.
They docked just a little bit.
They didn't dock. I don't think either one of them had foreskin, but they did bump. Helmets bumped. Neither one of them had foreskin. Well, I've only heard the story.
There's a lot of
There
detail.
was no docking because there was no foreskin. You can't dock without
So
foreskin.
you was there though?
That's a lot of detail, but
No, I only saw it. I mean, I only.
you saw it,
I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd watch.
Off the rails we go. All right. So, yeah, anyway.
Wait a minute, it's a true story. I ain't say no names.
yeah, the Mulberry's
All right.
a little bit livelier than the Buffalo, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can get away with a lot more at the Mulberry. Well, in some ways you can, in some ways you can't, because if the water's up at all, you ain't getting away with shit.
Yeah, you're gonna
You
die.
know, you're gonna die. But you don't have the people watching you like hawks as you do on the Buffalo, checking your coolers and regardless, don't bring glass.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah.
That said, if you're screwing around on the Mulberry, you'll pay for it.
Yeah.
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 You probably won't have nobody out there to help you.
No, you're on your own.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's far fewer people
Yeah.
that float the Mulberry. I of course, except for holidays, Memorial Weekend. It's a nightmare anywhere you go on Memorial Weekend.
It's still
We'll
cool.
be on the Buffalo Memorial Weekend. I try very hard to avoid floating on that weekend, but
Without that said, though, it's still a really good float.
it is
Yeah.
super cold water.
Yeah.
That's probably one
Yeah.
of my favorites to go just for how active it is. You know,
Yeah.
it's not a leisurely float. You're involved.
It's more like a sport.
Yeah. Well, that's where they do the training for the Whitewater School of Paddling, the Arkansas Canoe Club we talked about on the last episode. That's going on right now, but they do it up there every year, and it's a big event. It's a big deal. And there's plenty of whitewater there to do it. A lot of wild turns and hooks and rocks. And this guy damn near died the last time we went. Plus another guy almost died. And we've had
He
a
was
lot.
being a bit of a bitch.
You want to tell
Yeah.
us? You want to tell them about it? We got time.
Well, I mean, there's a lot to talk about that trip or just the Mulberry.
Well, no, just the technical aspects of how that ended up happening. You ain't got to name names or nothing, but
Well, we were okay. Well, to start off, we were in that cabin that it looks like an outfitter. It's on stilts.
Red River Resort.
Okay, yeah. You can rent that from Birds, correct? That's where we
Yes,
rented it from.
yes.
It's a really cool place. Check the weather. Check the weather.
It
If
will
it's gonna,
flood.
it will flood, and you will lose your vehicles. You will. I mean, we've been up there, staying at a different place when people were staying there. They had babies, and remember that?
Yeah,
oh,
look,
yeah, I remember
We
that.
stayed in that little trailer that would almost
Yeah.
fell over.
I
Yeah,
thought God was flooding the earth again.
yeah, that was bad. That was awful.
That was a rough
But
weekend.
we were staying there at that cabin, and all these people just kept coming up, and like they were looking in our cars, they were swimming, they were trying to get in the cabin, use our bathroom.
I mean, they could have been skeezers too.
Well, I mean that place.
They were kind of some skeezers.
yeah, they absolutely were. The thing about that is, on the Mulberry, they do have all these events going on at different times of the year. They'll have like a Birds Fest, which I think that one is that the folk. The kind of country bluegrassy thing.
and the one that we was in the middle of was the Mulberry Mountain, that goofy hippie EDM fest up there up at the top of the hill.
Yeah,
that's what
there's
that,
all
that,
them glow stick folks, you know.
Not a big fan of hippies.
Yeah, a lot of hippies, and yeah, I
thought
don't
you
like
was
it.
begging ass to go.
No,
I thought you was begging to go.
fucking draft dodgers.
Come on, guys.
No, I'm not a no. No, that was your dad.
Listen to it.
Yeah,
No, shit, no.
I said I've been in so many better mosh pits at an EDM show than at a Slayer show. Yeah, shut up and take a shower.
You just made my dick kind
I
of
bet I did.
jiggle a little bit, man.
So anyway, it was
The
flooded.
dick giggles.
And when it floods up there, the thing about the Mulberry is if it's above, I think I wrote it down, if it's above a certain amount, let's see, they say between 1.6 and 1.9 feet, it's great for beginners. You can float that and you're good to go.
great for walking.
2 foot to 4 foot, it's gonna be whitewater. 2 to 4.5 foot, you're looking whitewater.
It's definitely not for inexperienced. At
Correct.
that
Yeah,
level.
yeah. It's dangerous. Wear your helmet. Wear your life jacket. Don't get out there and get sloshed on the river. 4.7 feet, they will not rent boats out to anybody.
Yeah.
And at 5 feet, they say go somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, and when we went, it was like 6 or 7 foot or something. It was ridiculous.
It was crazy.
Everything was flooded. We floated. We got maybe a quarter mile down,
Yeah.
and there was a dog leg that shot off to the right. There was a pile of our buddies that was kind of clumped together, and they was talking, and I was ahead of them, and I turned and I screamed at them, hey, break up. There's, there was water going underneath some rocks.
Yeah.
They didn't hear me, and you was one of them, and he went
was the
underneath the
Get
rocks.
the fuck out of
You
here.
got sucked up underneath the rocks, and thankfully for, I think it was Dave. Who else? Who was it that grabbed your helmet and pulled you out from underneath?
So is a
that?
guy.
That was Chris,
So no.
Was that Chris?
That's that guy's name. So anyway,
Well, Chris is the one that pulled you out. Dick is the other one that almost.
what I remember happening was I was coming up to you, and I told you, I was like, dude, I'm sorry, because I was fixing to hit your boat, and I knew that it was kind of a bad area, and I said, Shane, man, I'm sorry, and I went under, and I remember my face hitting a rock and the top of my helmet hitting a rock, and I tried to push off and I couldn't, and I was like, well, this is probably where it's going to happen at. And I'd held my breath about as long as I could, and Dickie somehow managed to pick my head above water. What the? And
I was passing it to him. I didn't mean to mess you up. Oh my God! Oh, we lost him.
The head went under the water.
Yeah.
but anyway,
I got a toy.
and, anyway, Dickie pulled my head above water for a second, and I still had two other people and their boats kind of pressed up against my back, and I was hanging on to a rock with my fingertips, and I said, "Look, guys, one of the guys that was there is one of my best friends. Love him like a brother." And I said, "Hey, man, you're gonna have to get on out of here. I'm going back down under. There ain't nothing you can do about it. I'm good. Just make sure you get out." And like God, whatever you can say, whatever you want. The boats moved, and it shot me right up on top of the rock. And by the time I was trying to climb up, Curtis had already got over there and helped me get up.
Yeah.
It was about a 20-minute ordeal, would you say?
It was wild.
It was a while, yeah. And then once we got you up,
I was wore out.
another guy went in.
She was being a little bit of a pussy. He was being a little bit of a pussy.
I had a hold of his wrists, and he said, "I'm dead. I'm dying. I can't." And I said, "Just feel around, find something, hook your toe on something." And he said, "There's nothing here. I'm dying. I'm dead." And I said, "You got a helmet, you got a life jacket. I've got your wrist. I've got you." And we got him out. I got him out. But that was, that stuff happens every day.
Yeah.
And I meant to say this on the last episode, and I forgot. But rule number 5,100 and whatever. If you see a cool tree that's leaning over the water, and it's the leaves and stuff, and it would be so pretty to go underneath and through the tree, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's a trap. Yeah. We're in May, so it's May 4th. It's a trap.
It's a trap.
Those
Today's
limbs
May
and
4th?
stuff will, no, is it? I don't know.
It is May the 4th.
May the 4th.
Oh Lord, I'm watching Star Wars tonight.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the issues, and I hear people talk about, oh, the water's dangerous, and as a grown man, and has especially a Southerner, you're like, I got this. But what you don't realize is that, especially the Mulberry and Lacey rivers, they take these very narrow parts of the river. So what you have to worry about is during flood stage or whatever, trees getting upturned and getting in those narrow paths. And if you're on the water in a boat and you're coming around a blind curve, you don't have enough time to react.
No, you don't.
It's going to take you where
There's
it's
a
gonna
part
take
on the northern area of the Mulberry called Chainsaw Jungle. And it gets pretty narrow, not bad, but narrow enough if they have a flood a couple of days prior to you being there and there's a tree down in the water, it's going to ensnare you. And look, guys, I don't care how strong you are, you are not stronger than the water.
I am.
No,
It's
you're not.
No, you're not.
I am, but
That reminds me,
The Boy Scouts told you that.
did you know we're
That ain't
sponsored
true.
now?
Oh, yeah? By who?
We have a sponsor. Well, today's sponsor is it's Freak on a Leash. Auto Erotica Paddle Leash is brought to you by Korn and David Carradine. So
David Carradine, I thought he was dead.
well, it's a paddle leash, so it's for
Didn't he die
folks.
jacking off in the closet? Are you being funny? I don't understand.
it's a real sponsor, man.
Are you fucking
It's
serious?
a real sponsor. It's a paddle leash, so it's a dual purpose. So it's a paddle leash. So keep your paddle attached to your boat.
How the fuck did you get a
when
sponsor already?
you turn over and that
I'm
paddle
afraid.
leash wraps around your neck, and you just get that funny feeling.
Oh, because you almost drank, because I was digging in your ass about wearing that paddle leash.
Yeah.
And then you was like, no, man, I get it.
Yeah.
And then you tipped in the water, and I said, hey, what you do that for? And you looked up, and you had shit all around your neck. You was all tangled up.
Yeah. Don't use paddle leashes.
Oh, I thought you actually had
It's
a
a trap.
sponsor.
Freak on
No,
the leash. That's
no.
crazy.
Yeah.
No.
All right, I see where you're going with that now.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, don't use paddle leashes. It's a trap. Yeah.
Yeah, paddle leashes are a trap. Look, if you're kayaking on the Mulberry, I'll be honest with you, it's a class 2. There's a class 3 area
There's
on
class
there.
3 on there, yeah.
It's not. Don't take an Old Town Vapor fishing kayak on the Mulberry River. If you want to get in a sit-in kayak, you know what? Wear a skirt.
Yeah.
Wear a skirt.
That's a big one.
Or get in a sit-in kayak.
Yeah.
Or sit on top like a Dagger Torrent. I think are phenomenal. They'll handle class 4s. They don't go down straight water. And that's maybe something we could talk about in some later episodes, like the different. Because I think most people just go and like, oh, I just need a kayak. No.
No.
You can't just get a kayak because
You bring a Pelican in your spot.
if you get a Pelican like this
on that
dude,
river.
yeah, this dude here gets Pelican.
Yeah.
I also seen this guy kayak in a Pelican on the Mulberry with a motorcycle helmet.
Yeah.
I said bring a helmet. That's the only helmet I had.
Don't do any of that.
Yeah.
Hey, you know
Like
what?
I said.
I made it.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Hey, but you dickheads are the
But-
ones that put me on the Mulberry for my first couple floats.
Yeah.
That was your first?
Yeah, that was my first couple floats back whenever you pulled me into the group back in 2012 was Cadron Creek on flood stage and the Mulberry.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there was trial by fire between those two damn
don't,
floats.
don't bring a canoe. A raft might be fine. You think a raft be fine?
Oh, yeah, they do rafts. They rent rafts
Rafts
out.
are bullshit.
Okay.
Who in the fuck wants to ride on a train when you could go get in a fucking Lamborghini?
You probably wouldn't have almost died if you was in a raft.
Well, there's
Yeah.
that.
You would have bounced right off. You remember?
Yeah, but then there's no
You
fun in that.
motherfucker. But no, I do highly recommend like getting out on the water. It's fun. It's fun for the whole family. But just
Know what you're getting.
do
into.
your research. Not all water's the same,
Yeah.
and that water, especially on the Mulberry, man, it moves fast enough.
Yeah.
I have done 12 miles on the Mulberry in like 4 hours
Yeah.
without
Especially-
paddling.
Especially on a turn, there's a lot of
Yeah.
water pressure. I mean,
Yeah,
Or it just runs you into a wall.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, you're trapped. You're trapped.
It's not something to let a little kid get in by himself in a kayak. You know, and the reason why I say this, people get on the Buffalo and they kayak it a while and they're like, "Oh, we're kayakers." No, you're not. If you do the Buffalo and you kayak it for 10 years, you're not a kayaker. You're a recreational hobbyist. That's what that is. When you move up to like doing kayaking tours or whatever on the Mulberry, it is a different water. I mean, if
Yeah.
I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
No,
But,
you're right.
I mean, you have to look. You got to wear a helmet. Drink all you want, but don't get so fucked up that you don't know what's going on because danger can happen at any minute. And a lot of people drown on the Mulberry.
You definitely need a life jacket.
Yeah.
A helmet and life jacket.
And then another big difference is on the Mulberry, you can go as a beginner, like I said a while ago.
Yeah.
If it's like 1.5 or 1.8 foot, 2 foot, you're good.
Yeah.
You can't do that on the Buffalo. 1.5 foot, 2 foot, you're not floating. You're walking
Right.
your dog. You're walking. You're dragging your
Right.
boat. It's a big difference. 4 foot on the Buffalo is what you want, I think, somewhere right around there typically. But 4 foot on the Mulberry, oh, that's rough. That's rough. I don't like doing it anymore because I got to go work Monday morning. So, but I mean,
It's almost a sport at that point.
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
You got put-ins like you can put in. It runs the opposite direction as most rivers. It goes from east to west, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
So, but you can put in. There's a bridge. I forget what it's called. Whenever I was looking up information, it just says headwaters. But headwaters to Wolfpen is 8 miles. 8 miles on the Mulberry when the river's up, like you said.
It's going to take you about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's
If
not long.
that. We're on the Buffalo. If you're inexperienced, you don't want to do eight
Yeah,
hours
8 miles.
or 8 miles because it's going to take you fucking
10 hours.
5 hours. Yeah, it's going to take you a while.
If you're on the Buffalo and you're doing 8 to 10 miles, plan on camping there.
Yeah.
Because when you get off, you're done.
Or you're going to work your ass off.
Yeah.
And that's where the different classifications of boats come in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
I mean,
And then you got
Yeah, that's one thing we didn't cover on the Buffalo was different classifications of boats that you know all about.
Well, I mean, you can take pretty much any of them on the Buffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, even whitewater boats
Yeah.
that just wiggle like this, it's going to suck.
well, I mean, here.
You know?
So there's a difference between when you rent a boat, say on the Mulberry, and it's high water, they give you a Jackson kayak. which is an Olympian kayaker.
Yeah, the Jackson Riviera typically.
Yeah, where if you are on the southern end of the Buffalo and it's fine, they're going to give you a Pelican. no offense.
You're not renting a Pelican.
No offense, but I mean it's going to be like some fucking big ass bullshit. Because they don't care. They don't make a fuck. No, that's going to be an aluminum canoe.
Yeah, it don't matter.
You know, completely different thing.
Yeah, for the Mulberry, I would definitely recommend a sit-in kayak.
With a skirt. If you're going to be,
if
you're going sit-in, you're going to need a skirt.
Yeah.
Especially right up at the front, you got the whoop and holler, and that's just the class too.
Yeah,
there's big drops.
Yeah.
Like on say the Buffalo and a lot of rivers, you're kind of going at a pretty level or very slight decline.
Yeah, there's a slight gradient.
But Mulberry, you're going down a ramp, and at the bottom there's a wave that's going towards you, and you're hitting that thing, and I took the River Goat to descend the first time we went, and I hit one of those. It was a real steep grade, and at the end the rapids were going backwards, and I hit it, and it just threw me right up over my boat off into the water, and I went swimming. I had a helmet and I had a life jacket, of course, so that's why I'm still here. You have...
but the water was also really high.
Yeah, at that time. Yeah, there's places, sections of the river for sure, where people go. There's a guy I work with, he takes his kids and they just hang out there all day and camp when the water's at a foot and a half, and they paddle around in their Pelicans, and they're no problem whatsoever. They're not going from A to B. They're just staying in that little area kind of thing. But Wolf Pen, High Bank, Indian Creek, Birds.
I forgot about Indian Creek, man.
Yep. And then you got Redding Campground. And which one of those?
Wolf Pen.
Okay. That's where we stayed?
Yeah.
Where the guy pulled the gun on us?
Yep, I already know.
Okay.
Wolf Pen.
All right. Now, after... like Birds,
sketchy as fuck.
Yep.
Wolf Pen's sketchy. Don't take a family down there. Don't take a girl you don't want to get abducted and fucked in front of you. Don't do anything like that at Wolf Pen. There's some crazy fucking skeezing ass meth addicts down there at Wolf Pen. Like, unless you ain't a strong ass buck like me, don't go to fucking Wolf Pen. That's all I'm gonna say.
What happened one time? We
wild.
stayed there one time and we had a bad experience. But yeah, this guy that was he was hired by the government. He talked like this.
I had a really good time with the guy.
Some super secret society of the government.
He was a really cool guy until he wasn't.
Yeah.
And then it went real bad real quick.
He pulled a gun on us.
Was it the singer from Motorhead? Is that
He sounded like
it
Lemmy.
wasn't Lemmy.
Girl, you know where I'm at, boy. I fucking stay down here all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, they fed me and shit. From what I remember, like, they were super cool.
Yeah.
They were very, very trashy. And then it got real bad.
It got bad.
That's the best, man.
And I've got a mouth. I'm sure I didn't help, but
the way I remember it happening, we were hanging out with them. They moved in their campsite, well after we did. We floated. We come back. They were there, and there was a lot of folks.
yeah.
And they kept hollering for us to come over there.
They were fucking skeezy. It was a skeezy ass time.
That trip was rough. But yeah, they ended up coming to. We left, and they come to our campsite, or just that one guy. He come to our campsite, and he kept calling. He was saying,
He had a glass eye.
He said, yeah. He kept telling Daniel was a sissy because he couldn't pick up a tree.
And
he
Dirt
picked up a tree.
And Dirt would have beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, Dirt picked up a fallen tree and was put in the fire, and he kind of staggered with it. And the guy went on and on about how much of a puss Dirt was. And Dirt was like, will you shut the fuck up? And the guy...
So that's what happened?
Yeah, and he ran off, went over to his, and then they all started screaming, and he got a gun, and he went in the middle of the street, where the drive-through, flashing his gun around, and we like, all right, we're going to the bathroom, and we just walked off.
You motherfuckers left me. Come Because all I remember was I was sitting in their camp drinking beer because y'all two
We had
cocksuckers.
left their camp and went to ours. He come to
Yeah,
ours.
I know, and I was staying over there or something, and they got mad at me. And I was like, what'd I do? Boy, I'll kill you. And I was like, dude, what did I do?
Yeah,
Y'all motherfuckers trying to get, and then left me.
Well, yeah. You ain't got to outrun the bear. You just got to
No,
outrun the guy beside you.
Honestly, I'm sure I probably instigated
I remember
100%.
Meanwhile,
Dirtbag
Dirt
just
probably
saying,
could have
"Shut
just took
up."
them and just go.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is, Dirtbag could have smoked all of them. And
Yeah.
all I really remember was this one weird ass, sketchy ass dude wanting me to take him somewhere, and I was drunk as fuck. And I said, "Yeah, I'll take you." Stupid. I got to the top of the dirt road in the truck, and I came back. I said,
don't
"No,
remember
I'm
that
not
at
taking
all.
you nowhere." That's because you went to bed at like 8 o'clock, and it was me and Dirt.
Yeah, probably.
Plugged in the.
Yeah.
It's a common theme with them North Arkansas folks. Some of them are a
They-
little rough.
Yeah, but I mean,
It depends.
it was the way that I took it is they were just drunk and running their mouth, like no hard thing. They ain't gonna shoot nobody, boys. They just playing around, running their mouth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was sketchy.
That was. But Turner Bend is, if you got kids and stuff and you take them to Turner Bend.
Yeah, that's
Or Birds.
Yeah.
Birds is fantastic too.
Yeah.
That's where you want to go. Because you've got people here that's watching things.
I think there's even some cell service down at Birds, isn't there?
There is. There's cell service at Birds, which you won't find on the Buffalo.
Anywhere else.
Not really.
And,
No.
You don't want cell phone service on the Buffalo.
right.
No, you don't.
Yeah, man.
Get that.
And that's another reason why we're doing this, because people ask stupid questions on My Buffalo River or what, all these on Facebook and things like that, and just get reamed. I did. This guy and some of his buddies that we took floating during the first schools out, we were going to go back, and they were doing MMA, taking MMA classes with you and
Yeah,
I need to watch my
and Marcus.
Yeah.
Cayman took.
Yeah.
I need to watch my mouth then.
They were doing MMA classes,
I ain't been lying, man.
and
Plug it up, cool.
so they were doing these MMA classes, and we had this float scheduled to go, and I was super excited about it. I was taking them, and they're all into the UFC, and there was a big event going on that weekend, and I posted on the Buffalo River, one of those pages, and was like, hey, is there any place that might show it, or a place where I could get Wi-Fi or service so we can still watch it, because we're going and we don't really want to miss it. Man, did everybody just tear me a new one.
Well, they should have.
You stay home and all that.
They should have.
I mean,
But
No.
you don't. No, yes. I'm sorry, brother. I
No.
love you. You don't need to be going up to the Buffalo River to Mulberry and trying to watch a movie.
oh, we watch a movie every year.
Come
Every
on,
year
man.
on the school's
Come
out
on,
float.
dog.
Look,
Leave that
school's
shit
out
at the
float.
house.
School's out float. We do either Whitewater Summer with Kevin Bacon, The Great Outdoors, right,
Yeah.
or Goonies.
What about without a paddle?
Well, all the kids were younger, so we hadn't done that yet. This year, they're all the kids are older.
How old? We're gonna show the
You know what
this
a-
year.
Kylan is 13 this year, so this year
What's the movie where Ned Beatty gets butt fucked?
we just Deliverance.
Deliverance.
This year, we're going to watch a movie before we float, and I'm
Yeah.
playing Deliverance.
Yeah, Deliverance is a great movie.
I bring a marine battery and a projector. We keep the noise down. We put it off in a canopy with walls around it, so we don't bother anybody else. Generally, we're on a group side or something. We're not bothering anybody. Yeah. But now we always have, every year we have some dickhead beside us running a generator all night long.
That
you know?
shit. Ugh.
But we'll watch a movie, because we have kids with us. I don't do
Right.
that on other places. But, it's create a vibe,
I will say this, that's one of the things that irritates the shit out of me about some of these larger campgrounds is that there's always some dickhead that has a generator at 10 o'clock at night and you can't, you just want to sit and look at the stars and enjoy a hot dog and talk to your friends all year.
Yeah, man. My deal, and I got sleep apnea and shit, and I don't like camping anywhere that doesn't have electricity. Like, I get it, I'm older and stuff, but if you're going to go be out in the wild, you need to go be out in the wild.
Yeah, 100%.
If you can't handle it, if it's your health or your age, then you don't need to fucking be out there.
Go.
You know, don't
to
let
RV park. Shit.
a 500-pound man don't need to run a fucking marathon. If you want to watch TV and you want to go fuck off or something, don't go up to a pristine area and fucking kayak, cocksucker. You know what I'm saying? Stay your ass at the fucking house and let the rest of us enjoy the beauty and serenity of the fucking place.
There's RV parks everywhere that you can get along just fine at that. You know, to go out in the middle of the Buffalo River where you want to go out in the middle of nowhere and some jackass has got one of those, you know, fucking industrial.
I mean, if you go camping with your family, you can bring an RV or like a pop-up camper or anything like that. But
really, is that camping?
Those guys.
Yeah, you're gonna,
is that camping though?
You're gonna make more memories if you use a tent.
So do you?
Hey! I mean, we can't camp, but look, what we do on the May float, we don't camp.
No, but
every year.
I physically can.
No, you would not want to have a campsite.
Like I can't do it
on the May float.
But weird ass question: is camping to you roughing it or camper?
Roughing it. It's got to be rough.
Smack.
Yeah.
Don't even you fucking waited way too fucking long. That's bullshit. Listen, if you're camping, then you fucking camp. I'm sorry, but an RV and a generator is not camping.
No.
That's a little mini vacation where you pretend like you're out in the wilderness.
That's taking your house.
It's a completely different thing.
We had a pop-up we took with us sometimes.
Yeah, and it was amazing. It was a great pop-up.
It was fantastic. But I consider it a vacation.
Yeah, but you're not like you had it as like a. We would go.
All this come from the guy that didn't go to the wilderness float 2 years ago.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, like if you've got like a pop-up camper or something like that, and you bring it out every now and then, but you can camp. Like you can go out and you can rough it and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about.
I get what you're saying.
I'm saying I like both. But it's all a vacation to me. That's my idea of an ideal vacation.
I mean, the context matters. I mean, you know, if you can't say I'm going camping and take a 40-foot RV.
No,
that's
man.
not the same.
Because it's not. It's a different breed of people, man. You can't go camping like that.
If you want to make good memories, just bring a tent. Rough it out.
I think so because
you want to make good memories. Punch sand.
Be prepared. Be prepared, but you know, bring a tent and have fun. You know.
But the honest truth is, what makes memories is not being in a camper watching TV. It's the shitty little experiences that you have and being able to make it through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's the damn man. That was a terrible vacation.
It builds character.
Well,
it builds character, man.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah. I will say that the things that are really memorable are the really shitty times.
That's
like,
it.
Oh yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that wilderness float a couple of years ago. But the one thing that I remember the most is spending damn near an hour trying to find a place to shit.
Yeah, and that's what. But when you get right down to it, that's what's fun.
Yeah, that's what I remember. I remember punching the sand and then waking up and taking a shower in the river with a bar of soap.
Yeah.
But do you remember all the camp trips you had that went perfect?
You remember the time whenever there was like it never rained and the
It
weather
never rained
was
and you
like
had the
81
best time in your
degrees.
life.
Nothing happened. Nothing.
You don't.
No.
You're
remember
proud. You're proud of the times where you had to beat the sand down just to lay in bed at night.
No,
I almost died, and I didn't, and I'm here, and I will talk about that till I am dead.
Yeah,
I remember
you
that.
don't like me saying cocksucker, but that's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean?
Okay,
I mean, I'm sorry, I quit. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah,
That's what makes you who you are.
Yeah.
It's the bad times.
Yeah.
Well, so typically the campgrounds up there are between $10 and I don't know, like $10 to $30, depending on where you go.
What I saw is that they're all pretty similar in that your campsites were like $15 for a car.
Sorry.
And you could some of them you could get a second car, but then that's for your campsites. If you wanted to just have a day, it was like $3 or $5 depending on the campsite.
To just have your car sitting there?
Yeah. If you were
Like if you float, like I'm just going to leave my vehicle here.
Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
or if you wanted to get out there and you wanted to go hiking out and do the little game trails that they had off to the side of those places, $3, But you didn't have to pay the full campsite just to go do that.
Right.
Okay.
It's something else, Mulberry's. That one of my favorite things of the Mulberry is they have the International Fest.
What's that?
It's where, like, remember we met the dude from Africa and the dude from Poland and got to hang out with them. They have people from all over the world come. It was like a biker fest. It's where the African from, I'm going to pronounce the name wrong. It's like Tuns, but I think we pronounce it Tunisia. And he's like, you give too many hugs, man. Too many hugs for you. No more hugs for you.
Yeah, no more hugs from you.
I was trying to hug the guy in the Polak. He said, he told me a joke. You care if I tell it? He said, hey, man, he said, he was from Polish. He was Poland. He was a really nice guy, but he said, I got a joke for you. I said, all right, let me hear it. He said, you go to a bar and you see a waitress. You say, hey, are you from Dublin? And I can't do his accent.
Yeah, please don't.
And she said, are you from Dublin? Or he said, are you from Dublin? He said, every time I see you, my cock's a Dublin. No, he said, are you Irish? Every time I see you, my cock's a Dublin. Anyway, I thought it was funny.
But well,
now, Birds has all kinds of different festivals all the time.
in fact, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you probably know more than I do because you've been down there more. But I remember the biker festival. Then there's the rock climbing festival. Then there's the Jeep festival. Then there's the naked bike festival. Then there's the folk festival, and there's all kinds of different.
Don't booze fighters do like a?
They quit doing that. Yeah. We used to go. Me and Dirt used to go to that. The Boost Fighters thing.
They used to have a big ass concert that they put on.
Any of them.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, they have on from May 8th to the 11th. They have the fly-in, and that's where they have like the airplanes from all over.
Thank you, brother.
And they fly around there, and they land like in fields and shit right by the river. That's really really cool to see. Birds Fest is actually September 11th through the 14th. That's a big deal for them. You know, like people come from all over to that. And they have all kinds of pop-up things that's going on up there that they do, like little pop-up events. You just got to check their Facebook page because they're all the time. They always got something going on. Like we went on one of our May floats the time we had the tornado. We stayed in a trailer, single wide trailer, and a tornado come by, and the trailer and almost fell over.
That's the one that I drove up there in that.
No, I didn't say that.
When it was
BMW.
over. Yeah,
I don't camp anymore.
I never camped in the trailer.
That weekend.
That's soft, bro.
That weekend they had this off-road Euro bike event going on. Birds has these crazy like dirt trails for four-wheelers, side-by-sides, motorcycles. That's and all of the up and down the Mulberry, Ozark. You know, you got the Pig Trail real close for like, you know, Harley riders and stuff. But the off-road stuff is what's massive over there.
It's huge. It's a huge area.
You'll see 3 times more people riding up and down the road on a side-by-side or four-wheeler pulling up to the Ozark store, you know, than you would an actual car. You know,
that's another thing is like all up and down that area. There's all kinds of different stores and restaurants.
Yeah.
Catalpa's he shut down. He ain't there no more. But they're
just
down there. well,
it's my favorite place. I don't mind talking about it. I don't know.
They did open up a new one, and then they shut down too.
Yeah, that new one is directly across from that. What is it, Moose Lodge, Moose Cabin, or whatever? And it's a nice fucking place. It's a nice restaurant. They got all kinds of pies and shit in there.
Yeah, Catalpa Cafe was my man. The buttermilk pie was insane, but
until we learned.
So,
but the place across from what is it, Moose Lodge? It's a nice place.
I don't know about Moose Lodge, but
it's that one that's all
Ozark store as so. The Ozark store is a restaurant in itself.
Yeah, that's a nice one. Down the road, like you're going to Catalpa, out there in the field, you remember that cabin that's like up on stilts, directly on the river.
Yeah.
Right across from that, they've built and opened up a store directly across from that.
Yeah, it shut down.
No, it's not.
I thought it opened up and then shut down like right after, like it didn't last very long.
No, it was there just this last June.
Well, somebody let us know. Is it there? Is it not? You can email us.
Wait a minute. You talking about the Ozark store?
It's brokenpaddlepod@gmail.com. Let us know. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was just there. What was it? June?
I heard
towards
they
the-
opened it up and it shut down. It didn't last. Unfortunately, but the Ozark store is thriving and Birds is thriving.
Huh.
Birds is great. Like
They're great.
we've talked a little shit about them, but man,
Birds is awesome.
if you're anywhere from Morrilton, Arkansas to the Oklahoma state line, and as far as recreational outside the Buffalo River, there is nothing else to do, in my opinion, other than go to Birds Outfitters.
You can do lots of different stuff.
You can do lots of different stuff, but Birds, man, they've really got it nailed. They got a great restaurant, great camping, great places to rent and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, they have International Fest, Motorcycle Fest.
It's a lot of fun.
It's even if you're not into kayaking and you want to take a 4-wheeler or a motorcycle, it's where it's at.
Go up for the day. It's
Yeah.
a pretty drive, real pretty drive going
Beautiful.
up there.
It's
Up
beautiful.
the Pig Trail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice area.
I did notice last time I drove through that area, there was like a couple RV parks or something that popped up. It had like a swimming pool. and
Yeah,
everything.
so directly in front of the Moose Lodge cabin, the one that I was talking about, they were under construction of some RV parks while we were there.
Okay.
So, and
See, I'm thinking of one that was on Highway 23, I think, going, up north. That there was like, what is this? And it had a swimming pool, I think maybe in a playground or
Where
something.
was this at?
That just by the Mulberry, just past the Mulberry. There's a lot of nice cabins to rent up there too.
a lot of nice
Do
cabins.
you ever go to the Mulberry through Lamar?
I've come back that way. Yeah.
So, as you're going through Lamar, say you're going to or fro, if you're going to the Mulberry on Lamar, there's this little lake on the left-hand side. You ever seen it?
yeah.
The city of Lamar decided to have a speedboat racing tournament on that lake. Yeah. The big ass speedboats? They had it on that lake.
I live my life 1/4 mile at a time.
Yes, bro. It's like one boat. It was terrible. I don't
Did you
know why
go?
they did it. No.
Oh.
Yeah, that buddy of
I
mine.
seen it on Facebook. A lot of people was talking.
I think that same lake, that buddy of mine, I took him down there because we couldn't go down to Mulberry, and we brought all of our kayaks, and he drank a lot the night before, and this is the middle of July, and I told him it was a terrible idea to go up there at that time. He drank a whole lot the night before. He says, "All right, well, we brought kayaks. Let's go find a place to go." So we got on that lake, and he's sitting there paddling and getting hot. You can see him just drenched in sweat, just cooking to the bone on that lake. And I was like, "Man, it's hot." He's like, "Yeah, I know." I was like, "All right, man, you ready to go back to cabin?" "Yeah, let's go back to cabin."
I ain't never seen that before.
I heard a story.
I don't know if anybody's ever done like that.
My ex neighbor, he had false teeth, and I got a couple of teeth missing and stuff. But he told me he was on I don't remember what river, if it was Mulberry or Buffalo, but it applies to all rivers. He had pulled up on a sandbank with his friends in a canoe, and they had got in the weeds, or whatever. Pulled up, got out, they drank a couple beers, got ready to leave, and they moved the kayak, and I guess it had some limbs pulled back. When they moved the kayak, knocked all his front teeth out. And he still had to go 7 miles before he could get off the water.
Oh my god.
You got to be extremely observant, regardless,
I mean, anything can happen on the river.
Yeah, like one of a buddy of ours was going down the water and he was going to stop himself.
Yeah.
So he stuck his leg out of the kayak to kick a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Well, I don't want
I
to say
can't
who
say.
on film, but
But you have no
almost
problem.
broke his leg. No problem saying cocksucker.
Yeah, right.
that ain't hurting nobody.
Yeah.
Half the population sucks cock.
Okay.
I don't know what the problem is.
I mean, we talked about dirtbag grabbing snakes and stuff, but I mean, you don't want to pick up a snake while you're floating down.
No,
the river.
you need to be a professional. And I will say
Yeah.
dirtbags are professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is professional, but you gotta be careful of anything you do on the river. I mean, you can think you're all right, you got everything, but next thing you know, everything just turns sideways.
Man, get your ass.
Yeah, and depending on the river that you're on too, you
about to show you what a dimwit
screw
can
up,
do here in a
and
little
you
bit,
don't
right?
have anywhere to go.
I wish you would.
Say
No,
what?
don't hurt me, man.
I wish you would, bro.
Nah, you'll hurt me. I'm just playing.
What did you say?
I said, depending on the river, if you screw up somewhere, you got a long ways to go before you can get help.
Yeah.
That's really the only point that I
None
have.
of times I've seen somebody dragging a deflated inner tube,
Yeah.
Yeah, don't bring it here.
walking on the side of the river.
Don't bring it here.
You know, the face just
Yeah,
just all-
that goes back to, I forget what rule that was, but always bring a second paddle, because
Yeah.
you lose one paddle and you in a kayak, it's gonna be
You know-
a long day.
When we very first started doing this Broken Paddle Canoe Club, you got any advice? And he said was his advice. He said, dry socks.
Dry socks.
Bring dry socks.
oh yeah.
Worst fucking advice I ever got in my life. I don't give
No.
a fuck about no dry socks. But here's the deal. Keep your head on a swivel, man. Don't go out thinking that nothing's going to happen. Because the chances of something happening on the water is probably greater than something happening on the highway.
Oh yeah, about every
But
other
you-
time we was on the Mulberry, something happened.
Yeah,
every
but in your mind you think, well, I'm on vacation, nothing's gonna happen. Oh man, it's actually more dangerous than you being on the interstate. You know what I mean? Like, keep your head on a swivel. You know.
Yeah.
Be careful.
I mean, yeah, but with what his advice, like two of the greatest things in the world are when you get off the river, putting on dry socks
Yeah.
and shoes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that and a fat, juicy hamburger from
Well,
some.
the guy was an asshole.
Well, yeah, but there's nothing better than some food. I seen a place. I think it's in Tennessee. I saved it. There's a taco truck that is set up at. There's like a kayaking event, and at the takeout they got a taco truck set up. How
Daddy, I
awesome!
got your ass, bro.
How awesome is that?
Well, yeah, I mean, to that note, I mean, one of the things that always kind of sucks about
Dad
our
smacked
trips
your
is
ass.
that, like, when we come off the water and we're all just dead dog tired, and we're like, damn, we got to cook dinner.
Yeah, we still got to cook. We're starving. And if anybody is looking for a business venture, my retirement plan is when I retire, being an Uber at the
Oh, yeah.
up there on the Buffalo or Mulberry, whatever, just having a handful of vehicles waiting to drive drunks around back and forth. You know.
You're going to have to figure out the cell service up there.
Something else too. Aren't the outfitters kind of grandfathered in?
Yeah, you can't.
So
yeah.
if you want to own an outfitter business like around the Buffalo or whatever, you
not happening.
have to buy one of them that's already there.
Yeah, not happening.
So
But yeah, and the same. I think the Mulberry's a little bit more lenient on
I
that.
think it
'cause
is.
It's not
I think
a.
it is.
It's not a national river, so
yeah, the Buffalo's federally protected. And
Yeah.
I personally like the Mulberry a little bit better than the Buffalo.
Do you think it's better? It's prettier than Buffalo?
No, I think it has different aspects.
I mean, much prettier than Buffalo.
No, I mean the Buffalo's
hard to beat.
extremely beautiful. It's like oftentimes when I get on the Buffalo River and I'm in a kayak, I think of what Lewis and Clark must have seen when they went through. And on the Mulberry, there is a highway kind of close, but for a kayaker, I think the Mulberry is the way to go.
Yeah.
I think it's the best river.
Experienced kayaker, yeah.
Well, I mean, not even experience. My first couple trips was on the Mulberry. Of course, I fell out a lot, and it was rough.
Yeah.
But you definitely know that you can kayak after you get off of that.
yeah.
The Mulberry is just like a kayaking experience. I mean, it's the closest probably that we'll get outside of the Cossatot.
I still ain't been to that one.
No, it's called the
I ain't
Skull
going.
Crusher, man.
Yeah,
I
still
ain't
been
going.
there.
If I have anybody, we run into somebody that wants to go float. Oh man, it looks like it's so much fun. We see your posts and stuff like that. Come with us to the Buffalo. Anybody that's never been, I take them to the Buffalo first. That'll hook you. You know, that's my cult leader, mentality there. You take them to the Buffalo, they get hooked, and then you can kind of spread out and go to different places. But You know,
But if you're a
the
retard-
Buffalo's my favorite.
If you're a retard, hang with him. Don't. No, I know. I said that just so he would believe it. I'm just messing with you. I just messing with you. Sorry, bro.
I mean,
out of the rivers that you floated, which one would you say is your favorite?
Spring.
You think the Spring River is your favorite?
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
I mean,
that's a different animal.
that's another different animal.
Spring's my favorite.
Just as you couldn't get any more opposite of Mulberry to Buffalo, Mulberry, Buffalo, and the Spring.
Mm-hmm.
Another monster right there.
Well, let's take
Go from seeing no one to no elbow room.
Yeah.
Well,
What's your favorite?
My favorite was the lower Buffalo Wilderness, just because you go out there and there's no, like I said, there's
nobody there.
There's nobody. There's no cars. You can't hear any cars out there. There's no power lines. There's no trails. There's no roads. There's no overhead cars.
I dig
Not
it.
cars. There's no planes flying overhead. You got no cell service. You're in the middle of nowhere. And when I say nowhere, it means nowhere. You will see no one out there. I liked that. I liked that a lot.
What's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite's the Buffalo, but I mean, I have a deep love with the Spring because I've spent so much time up there when I was a little kid. That's the first time I was ever in a canoe, you know, and we used to go up there every summer.
Yeah,
multiple
you
times.
actually got me into kayaking.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
like, well, whenever I was like, dude, you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
Because me and this guy, we've been besties since I was my 16th birthday.
Probably about 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, and I said, dude, you're gonna love it because
I don't know about besties. I don't know that I like that term. But
all right.
whatever. You keep it. You and him.
We've been brothers
Yeah.
since my
Besties kind of a
16th
little
birthday
bit.
because we found a common love for camping, surviving in messed up situations, and
I think our common love was more surviving in fucked up situations.
yeah,
Because
for sure.
we didn't kayak until several years later.
I said, I said camping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was more of a let's see how shitty we can be to ourselves and survive.
We
Top
would go,
deal.
me and you and Dirtbag would go out. And Dirtbag's family had some land off way out in the middle of nowhere. We'd go out, and the plan was bottle of whiskey and an injured rabbit call.
That's a terrible plan.
Hey, I
Yeah.
killed a lot of rabbits, man.
I don't remember killing anything.
Oh, I knew. I went to jail over a rabbit.
Hey, what you saying? Something about like getting food poisoning from eating a damn armadillo?
Yeah. We would go out there with.
I didn't get fucking food poisoning.
We did not bring tents. We did not bring food. We brought what little. I don't know how y'all was even able to buy the alcohol, but
Because Dirtbag, ever since he was 16 years old,
he looked like
had a
40.
full beard and long hair.
Yeah. Come out with stuff covered in an inch of dust.
He was the original McLovin.
Yeah. And except for he was over 6
Yeah,
foot
he's
tall.
6.5 foot tall.
Yeah. But we would go out there, you call up rabbits, we would drink whiskey, and we would meander through the woods, lost most of the time.
I wasn't
We would build fires.
I'm from Alabama. We don't get lost.
Okay.
You are lost.
Okay.
But we just did all that stuff so much that whenever it I heard about the Buffalo River, I said, we got to try this. We got to do it. And then it just become what it is now,
Which, quite honestly, because we had done that for so many years, where we would go out to the woods with nothing, and we were like, all right, we're going to be here for 2 days. We didn't bring no food. I mean, there's times we brought food. Most of the time, we didn't bring anything.
Nothing.
Kind of prepared us for life on kayaking on the Buffalo on a 2 or 3 day trip, pack light.
Emergency situations.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of where the fun is.
Yeah. Like I said on the last episode, you're gonna. It's more of like, don't do what we do. We did everything wrong.
Yeah.
And that's just how we roll.
Yeah. I know.
Most folks go and they do their floats, and it's just a nice.
Let's do 3 months of planning, and and figure out all the right gear to take.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
let's meticulously comb through all of the data.
But you know what I've
Screw
noticed?
that.
You know what I've noticed over the years, though, of trying to meticulously comb through the greatest data and get the greatest place to stay,
Those people don't have fun.
is that no, it's like this coming up year, we're staying in a teepee with one queen bed. There's 6 of us, and probably no electricity.
Yeah.
And we got some things planned. I think he's going to do a podcast there.
I hope
We're going to do shot collar operation, hoping that
If we can, we will. Yeah, for sure.
we're
so,
playing shot
if not, he's going to film it. But
we're playing shot.
I mean, it's the
Yeah.
struggle that makes you have fun.
Yeah.
for sure.
If you're not struggling, you're not having. Dude, you cannot go and camp somewhere in a campsite with a camper, watch TV, cook a hamburger. You cannot be having fun. I'm sorry.
Oh, that sounds fun to me.
It's when you're like, Jesus, man, this sucks. That's where the
I'm
fun's.
freezing. Dirtbag is
remember
on fire.
You remember the old Parrot Bay beef stew?
Yeah. Yeah.
That shit sucks. But that's what we ate. A can of beef stew, Parrot Bay, and dirt from the ground, stirred up, and that's what we ate.
You're losing me on that one.
That's all we had.
That's what we ate for years.
I mean, you didn't put, well, as far as my understanding and what I physically saw with my own 2 eyes, you didn't put dirt.
yeah, but
in
Neil
it.
would come over and kick dirt in it.
Yeah, somebody come over and kick dirt in it, but that's all we had,
Mhm.
and we had no way home. There was nothing,
No.
and
That might be a little too far roughing it.
yeah.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah, it'd be trouble to connect to the audience on that.
I mean,
one.
we went on
No one's gonna relate to that.
like a week-long survival trip with nothing, man. But
Yes, and this was before. What do they call those guys now? Where they build their own. The guys from Malone and all that. Where they,
Dumbasses.
no,
Dude,
I do respect the guys from Malone.
bushcraft.
Yeah, bushcraft.
You know.
And I like the guys from Naked and Afraid. I don't like the Bear Grylls type people
Yeah.
that are faking it and bullshit. Like, get out of here, Bear Grylls. You ain't jack shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, Bear Grylls ain't shit. He's just not.
Now,
Bear Grylls is not surviving anything. Bear Grylls is an ABC or NBC, whatever channel is on Plant.
you know what really grinds my gears?
You know what? If you want to look how to survive and shit, go to a guy that just spent 7 months on an island off the fucking west coast of Alaska with fucking bears and shit on a loan. That's a survivalist.
Yeah, I want to talk.
Bear Grylls is like, oh, hey, wait, look at, hey, I'm about to cross this river. Man, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You ain't done anything, Bear Grylls.
I want to
Well-
talk to the dude that stabbed a damn moose to death.
Which
Oh,
we
yeah,
did.
yeah.
We broke in. Was you there that night that we had to break into a pig pen? We broke
No.
What?
We broke into a pig farm. We were hungry, and we had nothing else to eat. And there was a pig farm up the road, and we walked up there and jumped. And we was all sitting on the fence, and I told Dirt, I said, hey man, you're gonna have to get this baby pig. How are you getting in there? I kicked him in the back, and he fell off in there. And Mama Pig came out pissed off, started fucking him up, started fucking Dirt back up. But he got the baby pig and got out of the fence. It was by a miracle he got out alive with no cuts and bruises. But he got us the baby pig. We slaughtered it, and then we cooked it.
Mulberry River. That didn't happen on Mulberry River.
No, it happened in Hill Creek.
Yeah, we were kids back then.
I was 35
I wasn't
years
there.
old. I was 35. It was Alan Holzman's pig farm. Matter of fact. Alan Holzman, man. I think he's dead now. I don't know. Who he is. But anyway.
All right, so
Oh lordy.
golly, I don't really know of anything else that we have. Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, God damn.
Sorry, I went off the rails, man.
Yeah, well, it's bound to happen.
Well,
Hey, I found the screw that I lost earlier.
But it's
about an hour ago.
That's character. What'd you lose the screw from?
I found the screw. I lost the screw in the bottle cap opener.
That's a bottle cap opener. I thought that was a damn switchblade. I was over here playing with.
No, it's a butterfly bottle opener.
Man, come on,
I
Chris.
found the
Yeah.
screw that I lost.
I'm down to do episode 3, man.
Yeah, I know.
Let's do episode 3, bro.
Well, we will. It'll happen. I don't think it's going to happen today.
Oh, come on, man.
But we talked about the Buffalo. We talked about the Mulberry. There's plenty of other options for plenty of other places. Long Pool, which is north of Dover. Fantastic spot to float. Boo? You haven't even been on that one, man.
You've never done Hilton
Yeah.
Farms. I'm telling you, Hilton Farms to Long Pool is way worse than the Mulberry River.
Yeah, you go through the Mother.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
no.
in the Two Sisters.
Yeah, or you can go from Long Pool to the bridge.
Get to go through
Use
Mother and
Moore's
Two Sisters.
Outdoors. They used to
Yeah,
do
they
festivals.
fuck-
We don't know. I'll see if they still do stuff. That's a fantastic one. We talked about their Malvern. You can if
Yes.
if all the rivers are dried up, you can go there. If all the rivers are dried up, you can go to the Spring River. You know,
Oh yeah.
And we ain't even talked about the lakes.
No.
well, I mean, Lake's a lake, but yeah, there's the what's that place? Maumelle.
Lake Maumelle, Sleepy Hollow access has got like a little spot that you can kayak through. You can't take a boat through there because they don't let you have motorized anything over like 10, 15 cc's or whatever. Anyway, you can go off and kayak through a cypress forest, and you can do the same thing in Nimrod too. Those are the only two that I know that you can do that with.
I know Lake Ouachita has got islands where you go float out to an island, camp on an island. That's supposed to be that's going to be amazing.
Doesn't Greer's Ferry have a Sugarloaf Mountain that you can go out to? And
Yeah, but I don't know about kayaking out to that daggum thing.
that's a pretty deep place to do that with.
Yeah, them boats kind of right through there.
That you get plowed over.
Yeah, but we do plan. I do plan on
I
going.
just broke his chair. This chair is terrible. You got me sitting in some 1920s bullshit.
It's an old antique chair, man. Thank you.
When this is over, can I do like a Jerry Springer's discussion? You know, when at the very end?
At the end, I'm gonna let you go to politics at the end.
Okay, bet.
Yeah. All right. So, but Ouachita, we're planning on doing an overnight on the Ouachita. Well, 3 of us in this room are. I know.
Well, I mean, you say that like you coming at me, and I mean, I got sleep apnea, bro. I can't help that.
I'm just saying. I know 3 of us here are. I'm taking.
Don't to be beach.
Oh, you're not camping this
Don't to
year.
be beach. I can't help it, bro. My damn tongue.
I can't remember those dates
I can't
offhand.
camp unless there's electricity connecting my damn seat pit.
Bro, I ain't trying to die in my sleep. What? You know what?
But
Soft
It
as
don't.
fuck.
It don't matter. Okay. I'm soft.
the Caddo's another one. The Caddo, you go to at Greenwood, Arkadelphia. You can float that. Most people tube it. You can kayak it. It's supposed to be like super laid back. Never done it. Plan on doing that this year. Cadron, we've
Damn, you
done.
ain't got no back.
No.
I don't like the Cadron personally.
Yeah, that's the one we nearly died on because we were on flood stage. That sucked.
One up, yeah. It's dirty. There's no banks to get out, like no gravel bars.
It was kind of gross.
Yeah,
you
I
floating
did.
through
I did not
sticks.
enjoy it at all. But I mean, it's there just around Greenbrier area, Damascus.
I seen like all kinds of stuff talking about it. I feel like we might ought to revisit that one maybe when it's not 15 feet above normal level.
I mean, I'm down. I will do it.
I mean, because of pictures and stuff online look all right, and we ain't been there since, have we?
No,
Yeah,
I went one time,
yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, I'm done with this."
Yeah,
it's just muddy and gross.
To be fair, the outfitters are like, you probably shouldn't go today.
Damn.
Y'all hear that spider bark?
Shane, you nasty motherfucker. Shane, you so nasty. You nasty.
All right.
All right, we're out.
Stay safe,
I thought you was
everybody.
gonna let me do politics.
Yeah. Right now, here's the time. You can talk about all the politics you want, starting right now.
You gonna delete this shit, ain't you?
Ready?
Yeah.
Go.
You deleted it, bro.